months away from.
What's good, YouTube? Today we got are the Ravens the biggest threat to back-to-back champion Chiefs in the AFC?
I've only had this game for like 2 weeks.
Am I tweaking? Oh nah.
No, I'm talking,
So
I'm talking about like 2.5 months. 2.5 months.
First, before the video even start, no. The biggest threat would have to be. I ain't gonna lie. Joey B.
I was 5 HP.
If y'all hear that loud ass nigga in the back, it's my brother.
I was 5 HP. Nigga, no, you didn't.
So it might be Joey Burrow, bro. Joe
Two of
Burrow.
the best teams in
But we
football
gonna see
facing off.
what they gotta
Chiefs
say.
and a remodeled Ravens team led by Lamar Jackson.
I just
and one
want
of
to
the best running
react
backs
to
of
this.
this generation, and Derrick Henry. This is Speak.
Damn,
That's
she
Slick Rick
bad.
the Bucher to his right. The brilliant Joy Taylor. It's Friday, and Shady is here. Eagles all-time rushing leader, LaShawn
Yo,
Shady
you don't ever wear the big gold chain like Slick Rick? That would be crazy with the little. You should do it.
Next time.
When's your birthday, Slick?
Thanks for the
When's your
suggestion.
birthday, Slick? We can get you
March.
March. Bet. I'm gonna start saving up 2-5.
Okay, get him
Start saving up. Let's get to it. 'Cause
Hell
speaking of
no.
getting right, the Ravens have to get right. They start off the season facing the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
they repeated
shit,
for
I
the
didn't even
first
know
time
that.
since the early 2000s when the Patriots did it. They're trying to three-peat. What's standing in their way early on is the Baltimore Ravens. But Slick,
That
when I
ain't
look
no
at the
problem.
Ravens, I ask myself very simply: are the Ravens a legitimate threat? Are they the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC? As I look at it, I can't confidently say that they are. But what in the world can you say?
I can say no, they're not, and I know who they are. Who is? And that's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
For a multitude
Glazing
of reasons.
eye,
I mean,
nigga.
this is not. We're going to debate it here, and I'm going to debate it with Shady. But in reality, there's not really anything to debate. I mean, the Bengals have beaten them 3 out of 4 times. They've beaten them when they've had a mediocre defense. They've beaten them when they've only rushed for 60 yards. They've beaten them without Joe Mixon. They've beaten them when the Chiefs got 10 hits on Joe Burrow. They've beaten them under every circumstance. They've beaten them in
Bro, this
Arrowhead.
nigga glazing, bro.
So when I look at it in totality, the only time that they've lost is when Joe Burrow has thrown more interceptions than TDs. And that's only happened twice to him in the playoffs out of 7 playoff games. And it only happened 7 times in 49 games that he's played since his rookie year. So once out of every 7. So do I expect that would happen again? Highly unlikely. So for all the reasons, that when the Chiefs have been
I'm
at
just
their
leave it
best,
right
the Bengals have been at their best, both have been healthy, and even when the Bengals have been compromised, they've found a way to beat the Kansas City Chiefs more times than the Kansas City Chiefs have beaten the Bengals.
Very well said.
Shut up,
Very
nigga.
well said. Shady, we'll get to you in a moment. Joy Taylor, Ravens, are they the biggest threat? Or 2 months away from that game? It might end up being the most exciting game of the season. Literally 2 months away. Are the Ravens the
What?
biggest
It's the
threat
first
to the Chiefs?
I
game.
still can't believe this nigga said
And she bad.
Wait for the season to get here.
your ass because he said.
I don't think so. I think it's still the Bengals.
Like,
For all the reasons that Slick
that's
just mentioned. I mean, the Ravens are up there. The AFC North is obviously very tough, but we have the evidence of the Bengals being able to beat the Chiefs. And we say it almost every day. Who's out here beating Patrick Mahomes? Except for Joe Burrow.
True.
Because it happened.
Oh my gosh,
You
bro.
did see
I don't
it.
even
It
want to
happened.
watch this shit no
It
more,
did
bro.
happen. Now, I don't feel great about it.
my
And
gosh.
I think that the Bengals are coming into the season with a little bit to prove. I think they have to get back to where they were before. But Joe Burrow and the Bengals are not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ever.
I can't say that. I mean,
Nigga, we don't care if they not scared of Patrick Mahomes. We care about, what was I finna say? Does Joe Burrow have a ring, though? All right.
I think they respect them, but they know that they can beat them.
They don't
And
respect
there's
them
not
at all.
really any other
Stop it.
teams in the NFL that can say that with the confidence that the Bengals can say that, particularly Joe Burrow. When you're lining up from somebody like across from somebody like Patrick Mahomes with the resume that the Chiefs have, you have to go into that game knowing, and they really are the only ones that can. Now, eventually, I think, as all dynasties do, someone will come up and arise. I think that's very far down the road. If you're asking me if can I take it the Chiefs or the field, I'm going with the Chiefs right now. But you're not asking me that. You're asking me, are the Ravens the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC? I don't think they are. I do still think it's the Bengals.
Okay.
Chiefs on Chiefs.
LaShawn, let's hear what you got to say, man.
No. Mm-mm. You said who was it, the Bengals?
Bengals.
No. Where are you from, by the way?
Cincinnati.
How much?
That makes sense.
Of course, nigga dick sucking. I'm gonna guess he says the Dolphins. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? We could bet on it. If I get this right, you got to drop a like and a sub.
Because I was like, why was he saying? Okay, it makes sense. I'll just say
Where are
this.
you from?
I'm not from Kansas City.
We can take that same road, my friend.
I would say this. I just think that the biggest threat for the Chiefs is the Chiefs.
Fucking sold, bro. Fuck, man. Damn, bro. This nigga sold, bro. Still drop that like and sub, dude.
Because who can really beat him? We keep talking about Joe Burrow and the Bengals. They kind of beat him, right?
No, they didn't kind of beat him. They beat him.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
They didn't like almost
Shut
beat
the
him. They
fuck
beat
up.
him.
Even Thanos lost a fight or two, right? But we know how dominant he was. When you look at what the Chiefs
Hey,
are
you not
really
lying.
building there, they're building a dynasty for real. Now, seriously though, last year it was the worst I've ever seen the Chiefs look. It's the worst I've ever seen Andy
and they
Reid's
still
offense ever look, right? Calling plays or not calling plays. When you look at them, like, the way they turned it on, the playoffs is phenomenal.
Yeah.
What the hell you think will happen this year, guys?
Good thing Bengals weren't around to take
Because guess
advantage
what?
of that.
I don't know how good the Bengals got in the offseason.
He's
right?
glazed.
I don't know how good the Ravens got in the offseason. I know the Chiefs got better. I know the worst we ever seen the Chiefs was last year, and they won a championship, right? Now they get better, more explosive offense. For God's sakes, they got the fastest guy in college
I like
football,
what he's saying,
in the
bro.
draft. They got him. Then you add Marquise Brown. He comes over there, Hollywood. So it's like they're going to get better and better and better. I look at the Ravens. If the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, MVP quarterback, right? The Ravens top defense in football, best team in football, and you still can't beat the Chiefs when they're at their weakest point. How you going to beat them now? And then the Bengals, I'll just say this for the Bengals. I don't have much to really say about the Cincinnati Bengals because over the years, they haven't really done much. You get Joe Burrow, phenomenal player, turns it around. But what did that get you, right? You beat Patrick Mahomes one time, right in the playoffs.
Okay.
And then what? And no championships.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is this, when Patrick
Exactly
Mahomes,
what I
Andy
was
Reid,
saying.
And
No
Travis
championships.
Kelce and Chris Jones gets in that playoffs, they're a different team.
You're not wrong there. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I agree with Slick. I agree with Joy. I think the Bengals are a big threat. And I'll say they're the biggest threat. I'm going to be one of the first to say this, and I think a lot of people will co-sign, so it's not outlandish. I think the Houston Texans should be considered the biggest threat. I think they should be considered the biggest threat. Here's why, Slick. The DNA, what y'all are talking about
I ain't
with
gonna
the Bengals,
lie.
I agree
You
with.
know?
I think Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in football. I don't think
Let's
it's
hear what
Josh
you gotta
Allen. I
say.
think it's Burrow. I love Joe Burrow more than most. But what the Bengals used to beat the Chiefs in 2021, the Texans are doing now. What the Bengals had was they had an offense that was explosive at the wide receiver position because why drive when you can fly? So why run the ball when you can pass the ball? Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell. The Bengals had Joe Mixon. Oh, the Texans have Joe Mixon, albeit 2 to 3 years older. The Bengals had a second-year quarterback. Wait, the Texans have a second-year quarterback. The Bengals had a coach that was in their second year with the quarterback. Wait, the Texans have a coach that was in the second year with the quarterback. Then the Texans have what the Bengals didn't, which is a much better defense. I also think the Texans haven't been beat down by the Chiefs like the Ravens have, which matters. Joy, you alluded to it earlier. Not only do the Chiefs know they can beat the Ravens, but the Ravens subconsciously know they can't beat the Chiefs. And that also matters.
Yo, why
Lamar
are you
Jackson
shooting
is
me?
1 and
Nah, I'm
4
TKing you.
versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mind games.
Meanwhile, I believe
Bro.
he is 59 and 19 versus everybody else. C.J. Stroud hasn't taken those lashings from the Kansas City Chiefs. D'Amico Ryans ain't afraid of nobody. Shady's former teammate, my former teammate, I know him well, talked to him last week or 2 weeks ago. So with that being said, I think although I don't have the evidence and the empirical data that you, Joy, have suggested and Slick, you've suggested, and I agree with that the Bengals have, I actually think it's the Texans who've taken the gargantuan leap to close that ground on the Kansas
So
City
you just, I love what the Texans are doing. Coach-wise, quarterbacks, even adding new additions, the way they drafted. I'm all for that, though. I think that in a couple of years, they're going to be tough to deal with. You think, like, right now, the second year? Right
nah,
You know
now?
what it
real.
is, man.
But
Jordan,
second
you saw
year,
it, I
yeah,
think it was
no.
Ben Roethlisberger, maybe his second year. I think that's when they won the Super Bowl. Oftentimes, it's in that
Just let
first 3
the
years for the quarterback
let the
that
Chiefs,
you really
bro.
got to get it done
Let
because
them
that's
get
when
this
pieces
3P,
started
bro.
moving and shaking.
Let them
Now,
get it, bro.
Stephon Diggs is in his contract year. I don't know how long Stephon is going to be with the Texans. Daniil Hunter, he just came over. He's in his prime. He came over. I think he has like 70 to 80 or so sacks. Daniil Hunter's in his prime. I don't know how many more prime years you're going to get out of Daniil Hunter. Laramie Tunsil, he's in his prime.
Right.
Joe Mixon's probably only going to give you know better than I do,
lot of studs.
maybe 1 more, 2 more good years out of Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to have to pay the third receiver. So I think the Texans are in an optimal position over the next 12 months. And D'Amico Ryans went all in. He went all in this offseason, I believe.
I'll just say this, because you have a great point. A lot of great players, right? A lot of phenomenal athletes. I get all that. But I feel like we're not putting enough respect on the Chiefs. Like, we talking about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course.
Do we know that?
Of course.
We talking about the Chiefs, champions, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, about to be the three-peat. That's what they're trying to fight for.
Trying to.
So real quick,
Oh, I'm dead.
the Chiefs was winning with all these special players and weapons, right?
Look at my goat right there.
Tyreek Hill,
Nope, nope, nope,
right?
nope, 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 nope. Look at him.
Yo, good
Look at
try,
him.
though.
Nobody thought that they would do this. Like, there's no way they could just go back to the championship again, right? They do it again. And then you look at this year, the team wasn't that good to me. They weren't that good. We were up here talking about, man, can you believe the Chiefs look this bad?
Yeah.
And then they win a championship, and then we're at the same spot again. We do this every single year, and I'm tired of it. I will not be fooled. Every year, right, we always say, who's the biggest threat for the Chiefs? And we always throw these teams around, right? We always do this. And then what do the Chiefs do? They win, and they win, and they win again. So listen, me, myself, LaShawn McCoy, I will not sit up here, and I'm not biased. I love Andy Reid. I love all the Chiefs. They got to make championship. I get that. But I'm not about to sit up here and play this game with the big dogs.
he did.
Everybody else stood there like
He did
Like
win
we
the
talking about
championship
like pit bulls and Rottweilers. These other guys are like German Shepherds, right? They're cool. They good, but they're not that yet. And I'm not gonna play this game. There's no threat to the Chiefs. Yeah, it's no threat.
Look, we're not saying the respect that we're giving
All right, now this
is
is
by
crazy.
saying that the Kansas City Chiefs, without
my
question, are
gosh.
the team to beat. They are the team to beat. So then we're looking at who is the biggest threat to them. No matter how good a team is, no matter how dominant a team is, you can look at the list of contenders and say, who has the best chance of beating them?
Yeah.
And the Bengals, in my estimation, simply because they proved it and because of the psychological thing that you guys mentioned, like they're not going to go play Kansas City and go, I don't know if we can beat them. Houston's still in that place, and I agree with you in terms of the
That
makeup,
nigga just
and
spit.
especially now the way the NFL is. If you can build your team into a contender before you have to pay your quarterback, then you have the ability to spread that wealth and build a total team. And that's where the Texans are.
Okay.
But they've taken the model that the
speaking facts.
Bengals utilize to be a threat to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Correct.
And are now chasing that same thing. There's no reason for me to look at the Bengals and what they've already accomplished against Kansas City and to say, well, they're going to fall off from that. As long as Joe Burrow has been healthy, then they've been able to contend and challenge the Kansas City Chiefs. And in no way do I see that as being disrespectful to what the Kansas City Chiefs have done. Year after year, we say they're the team to beat.
Chiefs over the fans. You say Chiefs, you take the Chiefs over the field. AFC field or NFL field?
NFL.
NFL field. You take the Chiefs
Yeah,
over
that's
NFL
my
field.
girl right there.
Shady and I are saying the same things. I'm just answering the question. Like, I don't think that there is a threat to the Chiefs right
But
now.
there's a biggest threat.
There is, well, yeah. I mean,
there has to
we're
be a
doing a
bigger
show
threat
and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to pick somebody. And if you're telling me that you think that the Houston Texans could make it to the
my
AFC
girl.
Championship game
my
this
girl
year,
right
I
here.
could believe that. Do I think that would I pick them to beat the Chiefs right now? No, I'm not doing that. But I'm not picking anybody to beat the
Correct.
Chiefs. So if you're telling me who are the teams that I realistically think could make it to the AFC Championship game, therefore be a threat to the Kansas City
Correct.
Chiefs, I think it's the Bengals. I think it's the Ravens. I think it's the Texans. You could maybe pitch me on a few other teams, but there's going to be some other team that arises that's better than we think that they are.
Wait.
That always happens.
Am I dumb?
I don't know who that team is right now.
Dolphins are in the
but
AFC,
if
right?
It's the Texans, if it's the Bengals, if it's the
Yeah,
Ravens,
they
I'm
are,
willing
they
to
are.
hear that. But if you're asking me out of those teams, which teams do I think have the best chance of actually beating the Chiefs, it's going to be the team that I've seen do it more than once, particularly in the AFC Championship game. Again, I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm with Shady. I'm saying it a little softer than Shady saying it, but I'm picking the Chiefs as well. I just think I've seen the Bengals do it. And I know when the Bengals, because they've done it, step on the field with the Chiefs, they feel like we could beat this team because they've done it in the biggest game.
I
talk about it.
literally said,
They literally
Nah,
beat them
second
in the
biggest
AFC
game.
Championship game and played in a Super Bowl.
Second biggest game.
What are you talking about?
Let me just say this real quick, because like I guess
How
it's
is
like
that? Here's my problem, though. Why do we make facts disrespectful? Like, it is a fact that they beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
because like just because you beat me once, right, in the postseason, like
They've
They
been beaten
didn't beat
once.
them.
Wasn't he on that
twice.
team with them
Yeah,
whenever they
twice.
lost to
it's
them?
1-1, right?
And it's 1-1.
But the difference is one team went to the Super Bowl and won it. Other teams just
Okay, but we're
Exactly.
not talking about who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about who
the
is.
The reason why I
That
can't
actually happened, though.
I know it did. The reason why I can't take the Bengals serious as a big threat to the Chiefs is because they're so up and down. Like
That's fine.
There's sometimes where they really making the playoffs.
That's
Are they
fair.
gonna make the playoffs?
That is fair.
Right, Joe Burrow's so great. He's
That
looking
is
bad.
true.
Is it the line? It's always excuses. With the Chiefs, I don't know how bad they are. They're still good. Does that make sense?
Yep,
No matter how bad they are, they're still good.
What?
And I just can't see with my own eyes seeing the Chiefs, the things that they do, the way they coach, the way they're
Yeah, but you
like,
changing
come
the
on,
question,
man.
Shady.
Exactly.
You
Shady
changing
taking
the
the question.
question.
Shady taking the question.
Another thing
The question isn't, are you picking the
It's no
Chiefs?
threat.
The Chiefs. You
I'm with Shady, bro.
And another thing
No
is, I like
threat.
to say this though, like on every level of the Chiefs and the Bengals, right? They have all the edge, all the advantage.
Whoa.
what?
No, sir.
Why not?
Not a wide receiver.
Got the better offensive weapon.
Not a wide
right?
receiver.
What do you mean?
Not a
What
wide
do you mean?
receiver.
Okay, well listen.
It's not particularly close.
Okay, they're the better.
Yeah, that's
okay,
not
they're
close.
whose
Wide
offense would you
receiver?
take? Whose offense would you take? Because the Bengals offense is like this sometimes.
We're gonna change it. We're gonna change it.
If I look at the Bengals offense, who's the best player in that offense? However you want to pick. Because we already know if you
Joe or Jamar.
whoever it is, right? I'm going to take Kelsey and I'm going to take Mahomes, always, right?
Nah, for
Wouldn't
real.
you? Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Sure,
as a
right?
pair, of course.
Of course.
But you would take Jamar over Kelsey? You take Kelsey over Jamar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been there before. He knows what to do. Yeah, he's not up and
Yep,
down.
yep,
You know what I'm
yep.
saying? He knows what's going on. On defense, Chris Jones? What are we talking about?
1-1.
Right? Coaching ain't even close.
True.
Right?
And yet they lost 3 out of 4 times to him. How is
Oh
that?
my God,
Man,
nigga,
like-
shut
I
up!
mean, if it's so clear, why has every game been a field goal difference?
That's football. That's,
But you know, Shady, that this one is splitting hairs. Between those two, I'm with
Splitting hairs?
I'm of the moment that styles make fights. Between those two, as it pertains to the Chiefs dominating the NFL versus the Bengals dominating the NFL,
Yeah,
the Chiefs
there's no
dominate
close.
the NFL. The Bengals do
Exactly.
not. But when it comes down to that
He's laying
specific
down. Are you
matchup, and you
serious?
know matchups better than anybody because you're the biggest boxing aficionado on the desk. When it comes down to the styles making that fight, the Bengals match
Wait, why
up
are we
incredibly
trolling?
well versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And whatever the Kansas City Chiefs can do, the Bengals can do just about the exact same thing versus each other.
It's TV, so y'all want it to be like that. I get it. You want the viewers to watch. I understand all that, but it's not. If you really watch that, so we all watch that game, right?
Maybe.
Okay, hold on. Just hear me out. Let's see if I'm tripping. When we watch that game, Chiefs versus the Bengals and Arrowhead, Barrelhead, right? Cool. Chiefs
Disrespectful.
first half was what? Smoking them, right?
It was not pretty.
Smoking them. Second half, Patrick Mahomes started getting crazy and wild, right? Which was not like him. And then Joe Burrow made some great plays, but
Great
come on.
plays.
And he sacked up.
You know, which is-
Somehow he got out of him like 3-4
That's
times.
what he
That's
does.
disrespectful.
That's
That's
what he
what-
does.
Oh, bro.
They call him Cool Joe for a reason.
Why are we talking about the first half?
Yeah. Why are we acting like the first half is an entire
I'm just
game by
saying,
itself?
because
Oh,
when
my
people talk
gosh.
about the Chiefs losing to the Bengals at home, if you really watch that game, like
They lost the second half.
I bet on that game. They was smoking them. It was like easy money.
Was.
Yeah.
21 to the half, and then they couldn't even
What
more.
was it? What
hold
was
up.
and what did?
I'm done with it because I see what's going on here.
I don't
I
know
see
nothing
this side is like,
going
oh,
on. No,
all I know is when they play each other,
you're not
when
about
they
to do
play
that.
each other, we're gonna see what it is
No, no,
because
no.
one team is the king of the kings,
Everyone
and the
thinks
other team
that.
is like a good group that's hopefully they get
But
there.
when they play each other, Shady, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what it is. You can dominate an individual, but when you play a different person, it's like, uh-oh. For whatever reason, the Bengals match up incredibly well. Again, I think the Chiefs are the best team in football.
Guys always hurting all the time. You know, Patrick Mahomes, I won't even go on record and saying this, but I will. There's times when I played with him that 2019 year, he was banged up. Never heard about it.
You think Joe Burrow wasn't?
We do, because that's all we talk
Oh
about.
my!
right?
Shut the.
I-
Oh, this
there's
nigga getting
different
me
levels of
tight.
team. One team is like, we know how to win. We're gonna do everything in our power to win. The other team is, we're gonna be good some games. We're gonna be bad some games. We really never know who the Bengals really are.
Can you admit this? That the Bengals match up versus the Chiefs better than anybody in football?
No, I can't say that. I cannot
So
say
no
that.
one matches up with the Chiefs?
So then who does? Who does?
Nobody.
Oh, sorry.
Until these Chiefs get beat, I can't go against them.
Somebody
did get
matches
beat.
up.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna pause the video. I'm with all the glaze though. Trust me, I'm with all the glaze.
Against them, the best.
Listen, they winning championships.
Here's the thing. Here's what
Rings
I
and
found.
things.
Here's what I found most fascinating when I was looking at this one time.
fine. What you
When
find?
it comes down to like Patrick Mahomes' record versus teams, he's 12-1 versus the Broncos. He's 8-2 versus the Chargers, 4-0 versus the Jags, 4-0, 3-1 versus the Patriots. But then when you get to the Bengals, When you get to the Bengals, they're the team that finds a way to beat Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes got a crazy record versus everybody, from 12-1s to 8-2s to 4-0s. But for whatever reason, when you see the Bengals find a way to beat them. That has to matter, Shady.
You know, now I know what it feels like to be like Muhammad Ali, you know, what's his name? Floyd Mayweather.
Nah, for real though.
Pacquiao. Like, when you the top and a team kind of gets a little close to you, they want to like, they're the same. They're not the same.
Floyd never lost.
What he said.
Ali kind of couple L's.
Ali was the greatest.
Sure.
Anyway, but
And he
all
caught some L's.
I'm saying is, when you the top of the food chain, right? You the top of the pyramid. You're always trying to find a team that's kind of close to you. I hate to say it to you guys, right? It's not close.
Can the Bengals
I don't think that it is close.
But
But
we
the
know
question-
too, though,
the
it is.
question-
I'm not even going to let Shady walk me
I don't
off
know.
that.
I don't know what the Bengals are going to be this year.
Exactly.
I really
That's
don't.
the problem right
You
there.
know, if they're healthy, you know they're in the AFC Championship game.
If they're healthy, they're in the AFC Championship game.
So we
Are
don't-
they-
What?
What does that mean, healthy?
All right, bro.
Like, I mean,
If Joe Burrow's healthy, they were playing in the AFC Championship game.
do you see how you got to like put it a
Yes,
certain
I
way?
agree.
Because Pat be hurt a lot. But you don't hear about it.
Okay. If the question was, Joy, are you taking the Chiefs this year or the field? Meaning, would you like any other team other than the Chiefs, the whole of the NFL, or the Chiefs? My answer is Chiefs.
Yeah.
But the question is, and it's July, what is this, 5th?
Fifth.
July 5th, 2024. I got to do work today. And the work is, what team, if I had to pick a team, was the closest? And is it the Ravens? And the answer is no.
Was Joe Burrow healthy in the beginning of the season last year?
No, sir.
Up and down?
Chad, should I text her, bro? She
Started like
bad
1 and
as
3,
hell.
something like that. Some picks and all that. See what I'm saying? Like,
I wonder if she got a
I know
husband.
No matter what's going on with the Chiefs, injured or not injured, I know what they're going to look like. They're going to be a good, solid team. Coached very well. They're going to be good, right? I was there when Patrick Mahomes missed 3-4 games. When he lost one
They
game
went
out of it.
3-1.
Yeah,
Yeah, went 3-1.
I was there. You know what? Andy Reid. So all I'm saying is, I get the argument. Hey, I mean, the closest team, you know, that beat the Chiefs and all
Yeah,
this other stuff.
we're fighting for second place.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm talking about second place people. I'm talking about the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis
Right,
Kelsey.
Shady.
And then the best thing, they got Taylor Swift. Come on,
All
I'm
right,
a
bro.
Swiftie.
Now he's
Subscribe here to
now
get
he's
the
tripping.
latest from Speed.
Oh, hey, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know who y'all think is going to the Super Bowl this year. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ari.